What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to be taking a look at the FansToys display stand for the aerial bots, their jets. So if you are embarking on this journey with me, you will have to get them all transformed into jet mode like I have here. The limb bots, I will say, are pretty easy to transform. I transformed all 4 of those in less than half an hour. Maverick takes a little bit longer. It's much more complicated. So if you're going to do this, just set aside maybe hour to a little more than an hour and a half, just so you can get these transformed. Now, if you're looking for the transformation, I do have videos out for these guys, so you can go take a look at those. But we're going to take a look at how to transform the combiner parts into the display stand. And I'm going to forewarn you, I don't know if this is worth the effort. So watch the full video and then decide at the end if you want to do this. But let's get started. All right, so here are all the combiner parts. You actually use them all for this display stand. So let's start with this piece here. And I do recommend you get these rotated like this before you start taking off the legs. I already showed how to take off the legs in my other videos, but you want to remove the legs and then have these bent backwards and straight. Don't have them out to the side. So you want them like this. It's a little tricky because to get them off, you have to have them bent out. But, all right, so to get started, you can go ahead and open this up, open this up, open this up. Flip the wing around so it faces the other direction. Same on this one. Flip the wing around. And then go ahead and come to this side, lift up these, unpeg these from here, fold these all the way down. This is going to accordion down, close these up. These ears are going to fit right into here, and then this is going to tab down into here. So just make sure this is all the way down, straight, and this will come down. And I'm just very careful about those ears because I don't want to scratch them up, but just keep an eye on those ears as you fold it in. All right. Now we can flip this back around. We're going to rotate the waist 180 degrees, so it looks like this. Go to this side, we're going to unpeg the hip skirts from both sides. And these will flip around, rotate up, flip down, and just sit right under this. Flip around, rotate up, flip down. If this pops out, this happened to me a couple times, just push it back in, and then this is just going to sit right on top of these. You can open these up. You can do it however you want, but I like to display them like this. All right. The last step here, we're going to open up the, oops, I turned it. You're going to open up the arm joints so they're flat out like this. All right, and once you've got all of this taken care of, then we can grab the hands. Now, the hands don't really store well. They don't stay. But if you come to the bottom here, so you're supposed to put them in like this, and make sure you have this rotated up so it looks like this, and have the hands in a fist and the thumb curled up. It's supposed to store in here. Then you close down on this to sort of get it wedged in there. Honestly though, it just doesn't stay. The hands fall out. So I don't know, it doesn't seem worth it to get them in there and get them scratched up, but that's where they're supposed to go. So I figured I'd show it. Then we can flip this around and make sure this is all flat. All right, now let's move on to the next one so you can just push this back. So for this, we're going to open up the side panels, and if mine's loosened up, but if you need a spudger, go ahead and grab a spudger. Open this up. We're going to bend the knee down so it's flat like this. Open up these little panels here. Lift this up. This is going to come down and there's a little fold out ridge there. Come to the inside here, there's a little fold out piece here that's going to lock this in place. So it should look like this. And that one's pretty much ready, so we'll set that aside. Oh, and I guess you can fold this out so it's on the front. So it should sit flat when you're all done. Alright, then we'll get this guy done. So for these, you're going to fold these out like this. Come to the side here, you're going to flip this out. You're going to flip this out. I find that if I put my finger here and pull, it sometimes will flip this out. Come on. There we go. So you want that out like this. We're going to lift up on this whole mechanism here. On the bottom, we're going to flip out this little tab. That's going to lock this into place. Then we're going to take this and slide this up. We're going to rotate this down. And this is going to come all the way down and tab into here, like that. We can open this up, fold these panels in, bring this back, and now that is ready. Oh, and I folded this in. Okay, there we go. All right. There's a little tab right here, and that's going to plug into a little slot right there. So it's a tricky, and these hands came out, so I'm just going to take them out. Like I mentioned earlier, not worth putting them in there anyways. It's just a storage. So push that in there, it'll click into place. And then on this one, you're going to take this tab, and that's going to come and tab into there. Alright, so we've got one side done. We can do the other side now. Hopefully that was on camera. So this one, same thing. Actually, let's do this first. Fold down these pieces. Pull out on this piece right here. Flip this out. Hopefully it comes out with your finger. Lift this up and out all the way. Slide this up. Flip this out and then rotate this until I can tab in. Flip this around, fold these panels in, and then have this sitting like this. And same thing on this side. This is gonna, little tab is gonna peg in on the bottom there. And it does click in pretty firmly. All right, and then the last piece here, same thing as the other one. Open this up. Slightly different design, but similar. Open that up. Open this up. Fold the knee all the way down. Flip this out. Flip open these panels. Flip this up. Come to the inside here. There's a little securing peg. This is covered in that release gel or whatever it is, so it's very slippery. Open this up, bring this back down, and that should sit like that. Right, and then we're going to tab the other piece right here. So get this pegged in, and there is the full set of combiner pieces. Last bit here, take this gun, fold these in, fold the gun around, open this up, and then this is going to tab in on the top here. There's a square peg and a round peg, so obviously mash them up. Get that in there really tight, push it as far as you can. Alright, we'll start with the two jets on the right. First we'll take Iceman, and this is going to sit right on the kneecaps here, inside here. It doesn't really secure, like it doesn't attach, it just kind of sits on top. And it doesn't give you confidence, to be honest. It's very, very flimsy, but that's it. There's nothing locking it in place. Okay. Then we'll take care of Jester. So Jester, there's a little hole. I don't want to knock anything off. There's a hole right here. So this tab on the back is going to go into that hole. So line that up first and then set it down on top. Right now we'll work on the other side. And we have Goose here. So for him, you're going to get this tab right here, sitting where the two knee pieces are on these two little round pegs. And again, not in anything I would consider secure at all. And that is by the official instructions. That's how it's supposed to go. All right, and make sure this is down all the way. You don't want it to be on an angle. Unfortunately, anything on an angle is going to be problematic. So just make sure everything's straight. All right, and then we'll get the last one here on the side. It's Viper, and Viper, you're going to get the tab sitting right here in the front. So set this on top. And again, not anything that I would consider secure, but this is probably the most secure out of all of them, but they're all loose. And last but not least, we have Maverick. And I saved it for last on purpose because it's the most insecure. It actually fell once already. I damaged the tail fin right here. You can see it's a little bit bent, but so be careful while you're doing this. But there's a little slot here in this die cast, and that's going to peg into this, and that's it. That's what's holding it. Now you're putting plastic in a die cast, so it does have the potential to damage the plastic, unfortunately. So I would not do this too many times, to be honest. But you literally just set it on top, and that's it. That's the securing of it. And there you have it, guys. The FansToys Jets on the display stand. And I do think the Jets look great and looks like a nice display, but I can't recommend it because it's just not stable enough. Multiple times while I was doing this and trying to get set up, jets fell off. Specifically the Maverick, it's the heaviest jet. It's got the most weight on the back, and it's the highest up in this display. And the stand is not secure. There's nowhere to grab on the back of the jet. The front has a tab, but the back doesn't. These guys are a little less worrisome because they're not as high up, but they also are not secure. There's nothing holding them onto this display stand. So, I just can't recommend something like this because it's just too dangerous to have it in display. Someone bumps it or a wind blows through. But just to give you a sense of how big this is, it's about 20 inches deep from the back to front, about 14 inches tall to the top of Maverick, and about 37 inches across. So if you've got a 3 by 2 foot by 1 foot, give or take, area to display this, and it's not going to get bumped or touched, then maybe you could display it. But otherwise, I don't recommend this. You're better off just displaying them in robot mode or even in combined mode or jet mode, but just not on the stands. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.